So here we are at our latest development. This is Montpellier House in the centre of Cheltenham. Now this particular project is being sold, and before we get into all of that, let's go and have a look around. I've known about this property for many, many years because I used to work in the building next door. So that's where I used to actually work when I was in my corporate career. But this came about because I was talking to one of my mentees, and then he mentioned to me that this one was still on the market and didn't sell. This is the life of the property developer. This is me not being able to get into my own building. When we converted this building, it had two doors. This was the main door which got into the building. However, when we converted it into the residential element, there's now two sides. This is the commercial side, which is what this key does, and this is the residential side. But this is a different fob. So come on in, welcome to Montpellier House. So this is now the new communal area for the residential and the office on this one side. So all the fire alarms, post boxes, and a very expensive evacuation system. Fire safety, very, very important when you're doing these types of buildings. And this particular building being so high ended up with a whole new set of regulations that we had to comply with, which added a lot of cost, thankfully covered by the contingencies. We can use the new lift if you want. Let us know in the comments if you like the style.
Doors closing.
Now this originally was all open plan office space. So what we've done is put in all the wall in, which then creates the corridors, and then we have the flats off either side. So there are 30 flats in this particular building, 9 on floors 1, 2 and 3, and then we have 3 on the ground floor at the other side. These are 1 and 2 bedroom, what you might call 1 and 2 bedroom starter homes or investment properties, young professionals, maybe some downsizers, those type of demographics for these type of buildings. Now this was the original lift shaft. So one of the things that we did with this particular property is we took out the goods lift and we then created the bathroom and storage spaces and hot water cylinders, etc., out of what was the old lift shaft. So this would have been the old goods lift, which we've now put to use, as I say, as a bathroom and as a hot water and electric cupboard. Top tip when you're designing properties as well, if you're designing properties like this, make sure that you offset the doors, because it helps with sound transference. So this is one of our 2-bedroom apartments, completely finished. Let's go and have a look. So this is our 2-bedroom apartment, and again, very important when you're selling properties to show your potential buyers what it's going to be like to live here. So this is, as you can see, staged as a 2-bedroom apartment, plenty of room for sofas, TV cabinets, nice ornaments, lovely spaces in the kitchen and the dining area, and in the bedrooms you'll see you can get some pretty big beds in there as well. So here you get a sense of how this space could be used to live in. We've got the big bed in here, furniture, and you just get a real perspective as well of the views over the wonderful sunny Cheltenham today. And you get better views, obviously the different sides of the building that you're on. So this particular deal was an office block which we've converted into 30 apartments. Now, the purchasing of this building took a long time because the individual floors to the building, for all intents and purposes, were split into leasehold and were owned by different parties. So it took a long time to get all of the parties to agree, and it took even longer to get all of the parties to sell all of the properties. And we bought 75%-ish of the building because there are still 2 commercial units downstairs. But the rest of the building we've converted into 30 apartments. Now the numbers on this one then are, our purchase price was roughly £3.5 million. We spent roughly £2.5 million doing it up, and we're currently selling these properties to bring in about £8.1 million. So after all said and done, with all costs out the way, we should realistically be making about £1.5 million profit. It makes me feel great. 2 reasons. 1, we've created these wonderful apartments that people can actually live in and call their own homes. Second reason is the person I worked with on this particular project is one of my mentees. So they came through my training, they came on my mastermind. We've been working together for a number of years now, and we work together on this particular project. So that's really good that he's able to do this project as well, with a little bit of my help. And thirdly, it's £1.5 million profit. And everyone will look at the £1.5 million profit and go, oh my gosh, that's £1.5 million profit. And they're like, yay. But there's a lot of hard work and there's a lot of risk that is taken to get to that point. This particular project has had its challenges. It's taken longer than it should have done. We've had some challenges with the building itself, but those are to be expected. So this particular deal, as I mentioned, we bought 75% of the building. Now that in turn brought in some challenges, because we can't have full control. We have to work with our neighbours. Now, thankfully, the neighbours on this particular project are awesome. So we've not had any issues working with our neighbours. But you can see how that can slow things down if you're not in ultimate control. So one of the things I would definitely look at in the future is making sure that we've got 100% control of the asset. So this particular one is big because it's 30 flats, okay? And there's big numbers behind it. But the strategy and how you do this type of project is exactly the same on this size project as it is on the smaller size project. So this property was funded by a number of different strategies in terms of funding. Firstly, we used our money, okay? So we've been doing this for a while now, so we were able to roll up some of our funds and put them into this deal. Secondly, we used investor finance. So we went out to our investors and we borrowed money from our investors and offered them a very, very good return for working with us on this particular project. And the third strategy we used is we used what's known as a deferred consideration. So some of the vendors that sold us this property, okay, aren't getting their full amount until the end of the project. Now, the way that works is we agreed with them that we will give them some money at the start and then we'll give them the rest of the money at the end of the project. So a deferred consideration. So we used 3 different strategies with this. Now, we put all that money together with a finance product from an institutional lender called Development Finance, which enables us to buy this building and then fund all of the works under that product. So all of those things combined funded this deal. We have put together a free comprehensive guide on getting started in property. You can get your copy by clicking on the link in the description and in the comments. It will give you everything you need to get started straight away, and it is completely and utterly free. Now make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any more of these videos. I've been Dan Eaton, it's been great to be here. I wish you all the best on your property journey, and I'll see you in a video like this very soon.